Okay, so I have now soldered this all up onto a proper board. I had it on these things before, which are a bit flaky, and you don't know if it's going to work properly until you put it on a proper board with all the solder. So I've done all that. It's just powered off my bench right now. And I've just written on this to make it more obvious as well. I've tweaked a few values so that now, more or less, when the sliders are at the midpoint and the sensitivity knobs are at the midpoint, it's set at the, as you can see, like 7 out of 10 in the no pain zone. I can adjust that point there with this knob here if I want to, but I think that that's pretty good. I can't go any lower than that right now. I'd have to tweak it to get any lower than that, but that's okay. And you can see it does what I was expecting. It's like you add a dim and the pain goes up, and you take it away and the pain goes down. So we can go to 0. It has a bit of a tweak, a bit of a weird thing there which I need to work out. And you can go to max pretty easily. That's with it at the midpoint sensitivity. You can really easily add a bit of danger there and a bit of danger there, and then a bit of safety there and a bit of danger there, and then say, oh well, maybe this one here we're particularly sensitive to it, so it makes the danger more dangerous. What I'm not quite happy about with that is that I can't quite get the sims to be as responsive in the same way as the dims. If I bring the sensitivity up here and turn it down, that kind of did work pretty well actually, didn't it? There we go. I've got higher sensitivity, we've got higher pain, and we've got lower pain. So that's actually better than I thought it was. There's still a bit of weirdness here. It needs a bit of tweaking, I think. And I might decide and explain what that's doing a bit later. This here is the Mind-of-its-own-ness, the chaos thing, which is this little sub-module here. At the moment it's on 0. If we put the dims, we set it all up again here, so we've got the sensitivity at about 6 or 7. And I just chucked it on like half. You'll see it starts to do its own little thing there. It's pretty slow. If I put it all the way up to 10, it'll totally max out pretty quickly. And it'll go all the way back down to no pain, like no protection at all. There you go. And then it does this thing here. It's because it's going too low on the voltage, which it shouldn't be too hard to change. And you can see it's going to get all the way up to, I didn't quite get to full 10 there. I think this could do with a small tweak as well. But you can see that does its thing, up and down. And then we can say, if we remember that before the set point was around about 6 or 7, we can still drag that up and drag it down like we would before. And now it'll oscillate around whatever this point here is. There is another control for it here, but it does such a small amount for our purposes. It probably changes the wave shape a little bit, but for our purposes it doesn't really add anything to the protectometer. So I just didn't bother to put it out onto the panel. You can see we've got dims and sims, and we can bring it back down to baseline here. Get everything there. And turn the Mind-of-its-own-ness down. There we go. I contemplated putting this on the panel as well, but I decided in the end it was just going to make it confusing for punters, because then they might ask questions like, well, where's my master pane control knob? But of course we don't want to do that. We want to be able to say, well, no, what you're going to be doing is you might be getting all of your sims to slide down, or all of your sims to slide up, like that. And so we'd want to be obviously making the point that we have multiple factors influencing pain through the sliders, rather than a single factor influencing pain through the master control knob. Incidentally, this here is why sliders are so good on audio mixers, because you can do multiple things at once, which you can't do very easily at all with knobs. There we go.